Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing Luck from Apple TV Plus. So Luck is the newest film that was released on Apple TV Plus and is produced by John Lasseter, who has directed and produced some of the most iconic animated films of all time, from Toy Story to Cars and so many more. But I have to say, this one left me just a little bit disappointed. Eva Noblezada plays Sam Greenfield in this film. She's someone who has really bad luck. She grew up in kind of the foster care system, and she was never able to get a family. She's always had really bad luck, and at the beginning of the film, you realize that she's aging out of the system. She needs to go out on her own, but she still has a connection with a few of the people that she met along the way, particularly some of the children that she's trying to help find families, even though she couldn't. Very quickly on in the film, she stumbles upon a cat named Bob, who's voiced by Simon Pegg, who's one of my favorite actors, and I think he did a really good job in this one as well. And quickly you discover that this talking cat is extremely lucky, and he is part of this mystical system of this world that kind of controls the good and bad luck that's happening all around us. And she follows this cat around, and he goes into a portal that takes him into the world of luck. She follows him in there, and they go into this like amazing world where all these creatures that you associate with luck live, and they kind of work behind the scenes, whether it be leprechauns or ladybugs or pigs, cats, like all the things that you associate with luck. But then there's the other side of this world, which is the unlucky, and it's all the things like goblins and the bad things in the world that you think are unlucky, and it kind of shows this balance between the two. And the movie basically follows around Sam Greenfield trying to find a lucky penny, because this lucky penny gives her the ability to do everything perfectly. And she can give this lucky penny to this other small girl that's still in the foster care system, that she'll find her forever home. And really the story is just them trying to get this penny and bring it back to help her friend. I have to say right away that the animation is pretty solid. It looks pretty good. It's not anything incredibly mind-blowing, but I think some of the visuals are interesting, some of the sight gags, some of the ways they're able to use this idea of luck versus the unlucky. Those two things work, but I think the overall story and the messaging kind of gets lost along the way. Because at the end of the day, the moral of this movie at the end is that you kind of have this balance between the good and the bad, the lucky and the unlucky, and you kind of have to come to grips with who you are as a person and accept who you are and come together with your friends and family. So those messages are really good, but I feel like by the end of the film, you're kind of lost on what they're trying to get across, and they kind of fumble trying to tell that messaging. It reminds me in a way of the film Inside Out, which is masterfully done. It's an incredible movie, but it does have that same idea of you need the good and the bad to make you whole as a person. But while that movie really excels in telling that story and really does a great job of visualizing it, this movie is kind of, it's just a little bare bones when it comes to the story. There isn't really a knock on any of the voice acting. I think Simon Pegg does a really good job. I think that all of them involved do a decent enough job that it's not jarring or bad in any way. And there are some really cute moments for little kids. I do think that little kids might like this movie. It is, like I said, very bare bones. It kind of lacks that adult element that you've gotten a lot of really good animated films, particularly from Disney and Pixar. So I feel like it cuts it down a little bit. There's not a lot there. There's not a lot of meat on the bone when you're watching it. And that's why I feel like I was a little disappointed. I've been kind of spoiled over the past few years with some really good animated films, particularly one that I've seen this year. And while the movie is really cute, and I do think it will appeal to its target audience, there's not a ton of great humor in it. I feel like the humor is kind of flat, like falls flat a lot of times. There are some pretty funny, cute moments, but overall, I just think it kind of lacks that special element that you expect from a really good animated film. I did enjoy the soundtrack. There's particularly some moments where they have some really cool Irish music where they kind of integrated into it, because there are leprechauns, there are these mystical, magical creatures. So there were some really good moments when it came to the soundtrack. And then there's some weird moments where they decide to do some musical dance numbers where they're doing almost like what looks like Fortnite dances. It looks very childish. It looks kind of silly in my opinion. Maybe that's just me. I know I'm not the target audience for this movie, but I feel like those moments really took me out of it when it tries to be this serious film in ways about family and luck, and it talks about the foster care system. There were moments where it really could work and hit on those notes, but then it tends to kind of lean into the silly, childish realm a few times. So if I were to rate this movie, I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's not aggressively bad. It's well animated. I think the voice acting is solid. I think the idea that they were going for of this luck versus unluck coming together, the unlucky and the lucky, it could have worked. I think it's an interesting concept, seeing how everything would work out. Like, if people were lucky, everything would work out perfectly for them. They wouldn't fall. They could catch everything. They could do anything. If you're unlucky, just the worst things would happen to you no matter what. And I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't executed in a way that really capitalized on the messages it was going for. So if you checked out Luck, or you're going to check out Luck, let me know what you think about it. If you enjoy it, I'm really interested to see what people that are more fans of animation as a whole will think about it. Because like I said, I feel like it falls down like a lower tier. I'm not the target audience for this one. So if you have maybe kids that check it out, if they enjoyed it, if you enjoyed it, leave those comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.